What's going on, my Fly family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. I want to skip the intro just a tad bit, but y'all know what to do, man. Hit that thumbs up for your boy and also subscribe to the channel. I wanted to skip the intro a little bit because I wanted to make the huge announcement of the first winner of my first giveaway for hitting 30,000 subscribers. And after the draw out of a hat, I am very excited, very happy that this individual won, because this person has been showing so much love to the channel, has been supporting me day in, day out. Yo, congratulations to Jessica, man. Okay, Jessica has been major to the channel in the live streams, in the comment sections. Thank you so much, Jessica. Make sure you email me your info. Hopefully you see this video. If not, I know you'll be in the live tomorrow, but congratulations to you, okay? Now, let's get down to what I wanted to talk about in this video. I was watching ESPN, of course, First Take came on. They started talking about this situation that happened in the All-Star game. I did not see Slim do this, fam. All right, this is crazy. She was walking behind where the interview was happening with Nafisa Collier and holding the pay the player sign. I did not see this, dog. Now, I'm going to let it play in full so y'all can actually see it in motion. And then I want to actually get to, once again, explaining the CBA, explaining the revenue share of the WNBA and NBA, because it's been a minute since I talked about it, and we have a whole lot more subscribers and members. So, yeah, we'll get into that right after this, all right?
It's just so easy. That's the number. Saturday night's All-Star game. They wore a message on their warm-up T-shirts directed at league officials during tense collective bargaining agreement talks. Each All-Star, including the Fever's Caitlin Clark, who was sidelined for the game, wore the shirt that read, "Pay us what you owe us." The clothing also featured the W Players Association logo. Here's how fans reacted following the game.
Well, it was a very powerful moment. We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise. But chance tonight, the signs, I think it just shows that, you know, obviously as players we're united, but the fans are united in what they believe that we're seeking.
With the WNBA seeing tremendous growth in recent years, including a new $2.2 billion media deal and skyrocketing expansion fees of $250 million, the players want a salary structure that, Nafisa Collier's words, gives them a larger piece of the pie that they helped to create. We'll keep following the story here on First Take.
So, yeah, man, it went down during the All-Star game. They were really protesting, and the crowd got behind them. So, look, I don't want to hear anybody else saying anything bad about that fan base, all right? The Indiana Fever fan base, the Caitlin Clark fan base. Look, they are 110% behind these WNBA players, and it's just really disappointing to hear how bad Alyssa Thomas, Brittany Griner, even Angel Reese with her investigation, because that fan base is all about supporting all of them. Right? They want them, just like myself, want them to make money. But, you know, at the end of the day, it has to make sense, right? So I made this terrible graph, all right? Don't talk about me. It's a terrible graph, all right? Terrible, terrible, terrible graph. But I wanted to go ahead and show you all what's going on once again. And, you know, it's a totally different situation when you talk about the NBA and the WNBA when it comes to revenue sharing. So with the NBA, they get 100% of their revenue, right? Now, they don't have to necessarily worry about another league to pay their revenue share to, nor private investors, right? They don't have to worry about them either. So they get 100% of their revenue, and half of it goes straight to the players, all right? And the reason half goes straight to the players is because, like I stated, the NBA doesn't have to necessarily worry about paying anybody else. It goes straight to players and straight to them. Now, if we take a look at the WNBA situation, it's a tad bit different from the NBA's, all right? Now, as you can see, they get 42% of their 100%, okay? Just keep up with me here. So they get 42%, right? Because 42 has to go back to the NBA. As we know, the NBA has been subsidizing this league, right? So the WNBA is necessarily like an attachment to the NBA, right? And then not only do they have to worry about paying the NBA, they also have to worry about paying the third-party private investors, all right, which they get 15.8%, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they have to worry about two other parties that they have to give their money to. Now, mind you, the NBA is making a profit, okay? They are making profit versus the WNBA not making a profit, which is why they are attached to the NBA, because the NBA has been subsidizing them, all right? So that would be the first step, I feel, to move in the right direction, to actually sever yourself from the NBA and get yourself away from those third-party investors as well. Maybe buy them out. Now, the only way I see the players necessarily making more money or getting more of the revenue share is not from the NBA, because they're not going to budge on that percentage. The third-party investors, they're not going to budge on their percentage. So if anything, the cost to keep the league running, I don't know. They're going to have to figure that out. That's the only way I see them actually getting more of the share, is if they find a way to be more efficient with the cost to run the league, because that 42% will have to go down in order for the players to actually get more of the revenue share. That's just what I'm seeing. I don't see any other way that they could possibly get that done. I do know they are getting more money due to the new CBA that's coming in off rip. They're going to make more money, right? But, yeah, in order to actually get, I'm guessing, a significant amount that they're looking for, one of these percentages have to go down, all right? And I really don't see the NBA backing down from their percentage. You know, third-party investors who have that money are not trying to budge on what they are getting from the league. So it's just a really difficult situation for the WNBA, honestly. It's extremely complicated to actually find a way to get these players some more money when they can't even get 100% of their own revenue. That's what's making it really difficult, man. So this is the main problem, all right? This is the main problem right here. There's only two ways that I'm seeing that they can make more money, and that's one, increasing the revenue in general, which they did with the CBA. So, for instance, you know, just for a quick example, you get $100 on your last CBA, and you're breaking this percentage. It's going to be less than you getting $500 on your next CBA, and you're breaking the same amount. You're still going to see a good increase to your money because it's more money in the pot, right? Just to keep it simple. It's either that's happening or you're going to change the percentages, man. Yeah, I don't necessarily know exactly how they're going to get out of that situation. Now, they were saying, you know, they helped build this, and it's kind of like, you know how if you might have student loans or something like that, they pass it down to your kids and your kids' kids. That debt is passed on and on and on. I feel like that's what type of league the WNBA has been building, or the women has been building. You know, being attached and relying on the NBA for so long, and then you had that struggle, 3 years or struggle moment within the league where investors, private investors, had to step in and give you some money just so you could survive. So they put themselves in quite a pickle, man, all right? They put themselves in quite a pickle, and this is what you all have been building. So you have to figure out how to get out of this situation. They're going to see more money because that CBA is more than the last one. So they're going to see an increase. But I think they are asking for a significant increase. I don't know how much, but it's going to become a problem because they need to figure out this. You have to answer this triangle right here. And if you don't, I don't think y'all are ever going to see the amount of money that y'all believe that y'all should be receiving. So, yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this situation. I love y'all. Y'all keep it smooth.